What is good, YouTube? Quinn Wade basketball analysis. Coming to y'all with a quick video. We're going to talk about James Harden for MVP. Everybody is campaigning for James Harden to be MVP because he came to Brooklyn on a mission to win a championship with the Brooklyn Nets. And so far, people are thinking they're title contenders. People think that they can win a championship once they get Kevin Durant back and Kyrie Irving consistently playing games. That's what's going to have to happen if they want to win it. One thing I will say, though, he has been fantastic so far this season, and they're winning. One thing about the MVP, you have to put up wins and you have to put up numbers. And when you look at the fact that this is a guy that's giving you efficiency from the field, shooting great from three, always been a great free throw shooter, and leading the NBA in assists in a new system with not that much time, not that much practice, and not even having the full team healthy since he's been in Brooklyn with this team is absolutely outstanding for James Harden. And I have been a guy that rooted for James Harden to win MVPs, even though he didn't win. I was happy when he left OKC because he became a legend and a Hall of Famer, one of the greatest players we ever seen because he went to Houston. But not only that, I like his career so far, and having a championship would be the perfect thing for him at this point because he already has accolades, the MVP. He already has the scoring champions. He has already become a Hall of Famer first ballot. And now it's just about putting that cherry on the top. Having a couple chances to win multiple titles is a chance that not too many people get. And this is a guy that hasn't been to the NBA Finals since 2012 when they lost to the Heat 4-1. And that's how tough it is to get there, and that's how hard it has been for him. And Kevin Durant, he went to the finals again when he went to the Warriors, and Russ has never been to the finals. And Serge Ibaka went with the Raptors, and a lot of these guys that was on those teams didn't go back. And Kyrie was a guy that went to the finals and wanted to prove himself, and hasn't been back since either. And it just shows you how consistent you have to be, how dominant you have to be, and a little bit of luck does play into it. But at the same time, I'm happy to see Harden play this well. I was one of the people that felt like going to Brooklyn was a good move. I did feel like his playmaking ability is what made him stand out from the three because that was something that he has already proven in his career before going to Houston. And the main reason why I said that is because he led the NBA in assists before while he was in Houston. And this is a guy that can really carry offense. And that's something that's powerful when you can score whenever you want to, set up people whenever you want to because you're so dominant to get into your spots, get into your shots, that the defense has to read and react to what you do because you're just that good. And to see him slow it down a little bit, I think that's how it's really helped him this year, having the weapons that he has around him and having the guys that can do their own thing from time to time has really been a huge difference compared to Houston. And it will only get better once they get Kevin Durant and even possibly Blake Griffin from time to time, just because it just add more passing and more playmaking and more handlers that can open it up for him and make the job a lot easier. One of the main reasons why he went to Brooklyn was so he didn't have to do as much as he had to do in Houston. And honestly and truthfully, we're seeing him carry this load, but the reward he can get is possibly an MVP. But at the same time, the MVP doesn't matter if you don't win a championship. People look at guys like Giannis and LeBron before those guys that, yeah, you're dominant, your season is fantastic, but if you don't win the championship, it all falls apart. And that was one of my big reasons why I didn't have a problem with Houston. With James Harden asking to be traded to Houston. To Brooklyn, because at the end of the day, Once you amass all these things, you have other goals. And one thing James Harden has been honest about, and I have agreed with him on, is what's next. It's just the truth. Once you win these All Stars and these All NBAs, what is your next goal? Especially in your 30s, where we don't know how long he's going to play, we don't know how long he wants to play, and eventually you have to get something that you don't have. You already done did everything that you basically can do besides win multiple MVPs. And he has a chance right now to be an MVP because he's in the conversation while also having a chance to be a champion. And that's something that he has never done. He has came close, but he hasn't been to the finals as they lost to the Warriors that year. And I just really want to see how this thing plays out because Harden to me is a special player. This is a guy that's unselfish and also can be selfish in a good way. And he has shown that throughout his career, whether it's coming off the bench, whether it's being a starter in a guy that led a team, and whether if it's accepting a role while still being one of the best players on the court with other great players, whether that was in OKC or whether it's now in Brooklyn or even playing with Dwight, Chris Paul, or Russell Westbrook. So he has played a lot of roles, he has changed a lot of roles, and he has accepted a lot of these things and has handled them pretty well. I didn't really like how he was portrayed when he left Houston. I know it's some bad blood. I know the fact that he didn't leave the way that they wanted to leave, but it's never a good time to say goodbye, especially when you mean so much to a franchise and you are the franchise at that point. But you can say the same thing about a lot of these stars. If you don't stay your whole career, well, guess what? Most players don't. Most players don't stay in one place, and he didn't stay in Houston his whole career because he started off in OKC. He wasn't drafted by Houston. He wasn't plucked by Houston. He was traded to Houston, and he was able to make a legacy there. It came up short, but you can say the same thing about Russ in OKC and Kevin Durant in OKC. Being dominant and being amazing, but coming up short from a title. And these guys have all won MVPs in this league, and one thing that he has on him is being a championship, and that's Kevin Durant. And that's one thing that Kyrie also have been able to attain. Now, to me, it's just about what Harden wants more. He has done so much in his career for a lot of guys, and he has done so much for himself. Now it's just about can he finally get over that last hump and be a champion before he retires. And you know, the thing would be with a lot of people seeing this team as a dominant force, when a lot of people are jumping on the bandwagon, a lot of people are liking what they're about so far, even without Kevin Durant. If you can win one, just like we seen with LeBron, they get Schroeder, they get Marcus Gasol, they get, all these guys to come in, even Montrezl Harrell and those guys to increase their chances of winning again. So you want to cash in. You never know what's going to happen, and you never know what your career is going to go, and you never know injuries and everything happens too. So you want to find a way to continue to play this well consistently, and when Kevin Durant comes back, continue to be who you are, be what you're about, and play your hardest in the playoffs. And at the end of the day, hopefully you can get the title. So I'm rooting for you. I like where he's at. I like his mentality. I like the fact that he's still going off. I like the fact that he's cool with getting 21, 23, 25 points. It's not like James Harden is out here trying to, score 50 and 60 every game at one point. He has a lot of help. He has a lot of talent, and that was one of the biggest reasons why he wanted to go to Brooklyn. And we are seeing what he's doing in this situation. This is where he wanted to play. This is where he wants to be. And he has done a fantastic job of fitting in, standing out, and still being the dominant James Harden that we're accustomed to so far in his career. So I wouldn't pick him to be MVP right now, but his case is getting stronger. His case is being more valid, but now you still have to continue to do this. He got off to a rocky start. He kind of damaged his name a little bit with the Houston thing, and now people are accepting it and coming around. And Harden isn't asking for it. He isn't demanding it. He's just going out there hooping and doing what he does best. And, at the end of the day, this is what comes with that. So continue that. Other than that, Harden, it would have been fantastic for him to win MVP. It's fantastic watching him, whether he's on another team or on this one. But other than that, if he wins the MVP, that's another thing that he has accomplished, and that's something that he felt like he wanted more. He felt like he deserved more, and the way he has been playing, he's definitely in that conversation. Honestly and truthfully, now we just want to see what he can do in the playoffs. He have came up short. He have damaged his name a little bit to people with his clutchness, with his failures. And now this is a good chance for him to cash in and win the title. And that's something that he has never done in his whole NBA career. And hopefully he sees the opportunity and goes out there and grasp it and, take full advantage of the situation that he's in with this Brooklyn Nets team. And hopefully KD can come back healthy in the system, along with Kyrie and other guys, and Steve Nash at the helm of the team. Quinn Wade, basketball analysis. I'm gone.